Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to this explainer. If you're ready to stretch your brain a bit and discover how the math we learn on paper actually shapes the real world around us, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to unlock a completely new level of mathematics. We're moving beyond the hundreds, way beyond the thousands, and we're stepping right into the exciting world of five-digit numbers. Let's dive right in. Here's our game plan for the day. We'll spot numbers in our everyday world, break through the 9,999 step barrier, build a place value chart, and learn how to use periods and commas. Then we'll tackle the cup stack challenge before wrapping up with some real-world prices. All right, part 1. Numbers in our world. Before we look at any big, complicated equations, I want you to just sit back for a second. Look around the room you're in right now and really observe your surroundings. Tell me, or just think to yourself for a moment, where do we actually use numbers in our daily lives? Just take a second. Look at your walls, maybe your desk, your devices. Did you spot a few? Very good. I mean, if we were sitting in a physical classroom together, you might count, say, 4 fans on the ceiling, 4 lights, maybe 15 benches, or a class strength of 35 students. But it goes way beyond that, doesn't it? We use numbers to pay for things with money. There are exactly 7 days in a week. If you're a sports fan, you know exactly what a century in cricket means. That's 100 runs. And of course, the calendar year, like 2026. Well, that's a 4-digit number. The point is, numbers are literally everywhere. And seeing them all around us brilliantly illustrates how our number system actually grows. It's kind of like a giant puzzle. As you can see, the greatest 1-digit number is 9. But if you add just 1 to it, you get 10, right? Which is the smallest 2-digit number. Same thing next up. The greatest 2-digit number is 99. Add 1, you get 100, the smallest 3-digit number. Add 1 to 999, and boom, you get 1,000. It's this perfect, beautiful ladder. Every single time you max out a category, adding just a single 1 perfectly unlocks the smallest number of the very next category. Which brings us to part 2, the 9,999 step barrier. Let me tell you a quick little story about a boy named Manu and his mother, just to see how this works in real life. Manu's mother is trying to stay healthy, getting her daily steps in, and she tracks her walking on a smartwatch. One evening, she looks down at her wrist, and the screen shows she has taken exactly 9,999 steps. Think about that for a second. This is the absolute greatest 4-digit number in existence. There is literally no 4-digit number larger than this. So here's my question for you. She's standing there looking at 9,999 on her screen. What happens if she takes just one more step? Think about the ladder pattern we just talked about. What breaks that 4-digit limit? Yes, exactly. It becomes 10,000. By adding just one single step, her watch clicks over into an entirely new dimension of numbers. 10,000 is the absolute smallest 5-digit number. But because it has 5 digits, our old 4-digit rules, they aren't going to cut it anymore. We need a brand new place value just to write this number down properly. Let's look at part 3, the place value chart. So how do we actually mathematically map out this massive new space? Take a look at the number 54,732. In the past, we always stopped at the thousands place, where that number 4 is. But look over at the far left. We've had to invent a completely new column called 10,000s. That is where the 5 sits. So we have 5 10,000s, 4,000s, 700s, 3 10s, and 2 1s. The whole shebang. Moving on to part 4, using periods and commas. Now that we have these huge numbers, they can get a little tricky to read if they're just a long, unbroken string of digits. Have you ever looked at a really long number and felt kind of dizzy? To fix that, mathematicians group place values together into what we call periods. Think of periods as friendly little families of numbers, and we separate these families using a simple comma. This isn't just for decoration, guys. We use periods simply to make reading and writing large numbers super easy for everyone. So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding who belongs to which family. The first 3 places starting from the right, that's the 1s, 10s, and 100s, they form the ones period. Then the next 2 places on the left, the thousands and our newly discovered 10,000s, they form the thousands period. The 10,000s place is the highest value in our brand new 5-digit universe. Let's actually see this in action. Look at this number, 94,575. Notice exactly where that comma sits. It is right between the 4 and the 5. It neatly separates the thousands period from the ones period. And the golden rule for reading this aloud is that you always read from left to right and you read the entire period together. So we say 94,000, pause for the comma, and then read the ones period together, 575. Simple, elegant, and perfectly organized.
Okay, part 5, the cup stack challenge.
Are you ready to test your skills? This is a brilliant, hands-on activity you can actually try at home or in class to really master these concepts. Here is how we play. First, you take 9 different colored cups and write the numbers 1 through 9 on them. You randomly pick 5 cups and arrange them in a line on a flat surface to form your very own 5-digit number. Next, you have a friend or a teacher challenge you to identify the face value and the place value of a specific cup. And finally, you write out the entire expanded form of the number you just built. Now, what's really interesting here is the difference between face value and place value. Let's say your cups formed the number 56,789. If I ask you for the face value of the 6, well, it's simply 6. It's just the number looking right back at your face. But its place value? Aha! Because it sits in the thousands column, its true worth, its place value is actually 6,000. And for step 4 of our challenge, we expand the number. We pull that 56,789 apart into its separate place values, just to see what it's really made of. So that's 50,000 plus 6,000 plus 700 plus 80 plus 9. Doing this physically with cups, it built incredible number sense and reasoning skills for sure. Which brings us to our final section, part 6, real-world 5-digit prices. Look, we don't just learn math to play with cups, right? We learn it to navigate the real world. So here is a highly practical home assignment for you today. I want you to go to your parents or family members and ask them the price of their mobile phones. Mobile phones are very often priced right in that 5-digit range. For each price you gather, I want you to create a proper place value chart, insert the commas to separate the thousands period from the ones period, and write out the full number name in words. It's honestly a fantastic way to decode the everyday shopping transactions happening all around you. And I'll leave you with this one final thought to ponder. We started our journey today by looking at 9,999, the greatest 4-digit number. Then we took that step, we crossed the barrier into the 5-digit world. So, using everything you now know about place value, periods, and digits, what is the absolute greatest 5-digit number you can possibly make? Think about that ceiling, because once you find it, well, you are only one single step away from discovering 6-digit numbers. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you next time.